first off, yeah, I did absolutely love the movie. For a child of kind of brought up on 80s action movies, it really kind of took me back to all of that kind of stuff. For you, I mean, what was the lure of this after doing something like Deadpool and going into the Fast and Furious?
Well, it was kind of irresistible, like you just said. Like, I grew up on 80s action movies, and I don't know, to not give one spoiler, there are some Easter egg posters in the movie of some 80s action movies that are there, so maybe second viewing, but look, Lethal Weapon sort of always came to mind when I read the first draft, and knowing these characters in the original, in sort of the last 3 installments, I saw the potential of that, and I was like, thought I couldn't pass up that opportunity.
Was this something that would you have taken on a Fast and Furious movie if it was a Fast and Furious movie, or was your creative brain kind of more tuned into the fact that it was Hobbs and Shaw and slightly more of an action movie?
I'll never say never. I mean, I was excited to get to work with Chris Morgan and this world obviously is so important to the stunt community. Obviously, it's funny. I'm like one of the only stunt people that probably haven't taken a bullet on a Fast movie, because they hire the stunt community. But look, it was Hobbs and Shaw that made it special for me, and it was that sort of idea of this 80s throwback, or how do we reinvent the 80s buddy movie, for today. So that's why I really took it.
You just touched upon the stunt community. I was going to ask you about that because I know that Jason and Dwayne have been very vocal about making sure that the stunt people get recognised more, and I know Tom Cruise has said the same thing. Is that something from your background that you hope going forward that they get more recognition for, whether it's awards, whether it's for just general recognition?
I mean, I think I really appreciate that Jason and Dwayne both sort of like champion the stunt community. I've done a lot of work with Jason in the past, and he's a huge fan of stuntmen. Look, I hope that we finally get recognized by the Academy. I think it's really hard as a journeyman filmmaker and stuntman for 20 years. We're really one of the only key departments that doesn't get recognized by the Academy. So it's hard to celebrate on Oscar night when your friends in special effects, your friends in visual effects, your friends in production design that you've worked with for 20 years are all being nominated and celebrated. And especially movies like this or Mad Max. Like Mad Max is getting an Academy Award when that movie is, from beginning to end, involves the creativity and blood, sweat, and tears of stunt performers.
Yeah. Did your job get made slightly easier with the fact that Dwayne and Jason have such a great bond together? They're kind of yin and yang, but in this one, they do kind of mesh together in such a perfect way.
Absolutely. Their chemistry is real, and they're both so talented at it, and they had that dynamic. It was like second nature to them. So yes, that makes your job easy as a director. Like you get the pages, you lock down the lines, and you go, and then from there you build on alts and fun. And so again, like it's one of the reasons why I took it. It seems like I've always wanted to work with those guys, but in this dynamic, it was like undeniable. Like this is going to be so fun.
Yeah. It seems to be with this, and you mentioned Mad Max and then obviously Mission Impossible and John Wick. There seems to be this great kind of new revelation in some ways of the action movie, in that it's getting back to kind of ground level in many ways. Was that important for you in this to have the kind of more the bigger moments, but also have kind of stunts and fights at the core of it?
Yes, I mean, again, like I can't separate the stunt performer from who I am and as a director, and I wanted to have some of those visceral, grounded fights. You get to see Hobbs and Shaw both have those. One in Samoa, one in the apartment with the Mercs with Jason, where he hits the guys with a toaster. Like that's all classic 8711 stuff, right? But then we knew we needed to service the Fast fans in a bigger way. But what I still tried to do was enhance it with practical stunts. That's that chase in Samoa where we hang the cars off the helicopter. There's so much practical stuff going on that people will never realize. Real helicopters, real cars, and there's a lot of great digital artistry from our VFX brothers. So it's a good collaboration.
Yeah. I'd be remiss if I didn't ask you about a third Deadpool movie. I know that Marvel have, over the weekend, thrown out all of their slate for the next few years. Have they given you any indications since obviously the Disney merge and everything that they do want to do a Deadpool 3 and do it in the same way, or you kind of not been told what the plan is just yet?
I only hear a little bit of rumblings from the side, and good rumblings. I think it would be foolish to get rid of Deadpool from their universe. Again, I can't speak to their slate. I saw they just announced it, but there's hope that there's Deadpool in the future, whether he lives in R or PG-13 or who cares. Like, Deadpool's fun, and I would love to be involved. So.
Yeah, me too. Well, I love the movie. Thank you so much for your time. Absolute pleasure.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching Hey You Guys!
Hey You Guys, huh?
Hey, you guys.
Is that from the Goonies?
It is indeed, yes.
Nice.